When you are trying to think about how to get into this points game that can go a little crazy, I'd say step one, make sure that you're controlling your cash flow. And once you do that, I say take it slow. Don't just jump in and get a bunch of cards. Look at how much you spend, and maybe you'll go all the way down the rabbit hole and have 12 cards, and maybe you won't, and that's totally fine. Either way. So I think it all kind of started for me in college when I realized that traveling is amazing. And so I realized, I think I got an airline card as my first card in college. And I was like, wow, if I spend money on this card, I earn miles. The best way to get started thinking about maximizing points is to look at where you spend money. If you spend most of your money on groceries, there's cards that'll maximize your spend to get the most points on groceries. And that's a different card than if you spend all of your money on airline flights or hotels. So the first step is just look at where you spend the money. If you end up racking up a bunch of points and you're wondering, like, am I really using them in the most efficient way possible? There are a ton of services online where you can just search like, help me book my award travel or points consultant. And there are people that for sometimes as low as $50, maybe up to $100, $150, will take all the points you have and figure out the most optimal way to do it. So for a lot of times I've met people that are like, I wrapped up 200, 300, 400,000 points and I want to take this amazing adventure. There's a wide variability in how many points it could take to go somewhere. And more airlines are starting to create this kind of black box program where it's no longer, here's how many points it takes. It's like, tell us where you're going and we'll tell you how many points it is. And so if you don't feel like you want to go down the path of teaching yourself everything and figuring it all out and learning how to search all the airline websites, there are people that are probably more similar to me that for somewhere between $50 and $150, $200 will go and search all the airline websites, all the different tactics, all the different hacks, and based on whatever your points are, and help you figure out how to maximize it the best. Yeah, so if your points are ever expiring, there's like all kinds of super simple ways to prevent them from expiring. The easiest, lowest cost way is almost every airline miles program will let you redeem miles for magazines. And so to prevent any mileage balance from expiring or points balance, usually you just have to have some activity, any activity. You could redeem a ticket, which might cost 10, 20,000 miles, or you can subscribe to some magazine for 100 miles. And so every now and then I'm like, I want to make sure these points don't expire. Yeah, I could go buy a flight or I could go do something else, but I could also just spend 100 points on a magazine that I don't even want just for the purpose of making sure those points don't expire. Another category of cards that don't technically earn points are cashback cards. The average point that you could earn from any program, is probably, you could roughly value at somewhere between 1 and 2 cents. Cashback card might earn you 2% back. A points card might earn 2 or 3 points. So you'll definitely earn more with points, but if you don't redeem them in the most optimal ways, it might not actually be better. I would honestly say the flexibility of a cashback card might be better for you than a points card. So you got to think about what you want to do with your points and what your end goal is. And if it's just to save more money to put towards your future or expenses for your family, a cashback card might make a lot more sense.